Do you suffer from stress, anxiety, or depression? Do you find it hard to focus or to contain your emotions? Any of these things can take you down. So, what then are your personal health practices? If you don't yet have an integral or holistic wellness practice, you're in the right place. Podcast host Susan Axelrod, the confidence coach, has been practicing holistic wellness for 25 years. Along the way, Qigong and Tai Chi found her. After tiptoeing in, she dove into a committed practice and became a teacher and integral wellness consultant. She'll tell you Qigong and Tai Chi changed her life. In this podcast, she interviews practitioners, inviting them to share their stories about how these practices changed their lives too. Go grab your journal. At the top of a clean page, write down, "I want to feel better." Then take a breath and tune in to see if Qigong and Tai Chi can help. Hello, friends. I'm here to say, oh, yes, Qigong and Tai Chi can help. This is a special series in this podcast because in a recent certification program I participated in last year, I met a few women who were 80 or older. I met them online. I watched what they were doing. I saw them. I felt their energy. And I said to myself, who are these women? How is this possible that they are so vibrant and vital and engaged in this life-changing activity? And then I got to know each of them. Today, I'm going to be speaking with Hascia Marder as one of the people I know who is helping us to understand how Qigong can help you age well. Hascia has been studying with a master teacher for almost 16 years. The practice includes Qigong as well as Tai Chi. She got certified by her teacher and started teaching Tai Chi about 6 years ago. But she found for most people that Tai Chi is long and requires more rigorous practice. So she began focusing on Qigong as it is easier to maintain a beneficial daily practice, as well as being a quicker way to achieve all of the benefits that these disciplines offer. Hascia has been working with small groups, individuals, the Unity Church in her city, and for a few years now in assisted living centers and memory care units. Everyone benefits no matter their age or abilities. To further her knowledge and improve her effectiveness as a teacher, she then took a certification program that was 20 weeks long, which is where I met her, in medical Qigong with Dr. Roger Yanka. Hello, Hascia, my friend. Very, very good to see you.
Oh, Susan, hi. Thank you so much for having me and this opportunity to talk about what I love.
I mean, I'll tell you, when I'm reading your bio and I'm seeing, you practice for 16 years, and I know your age. Would you mind sharing your age with us?
I'm 81.
So I know your age at 81, and 16 years ago is still older than a lot of people who are listening to this. And
Yes.
then only over the last few years, you're teaching, you're getting out, you've been training yourself, you moved your own discipline from Tai Chi to Qigong for more beneficial outcomes. I mean, and now last year we spent 20 weeks in an intensive certification program. Honestly, Hascia, I'm so delighted to have you here. And I mean, down to the core of my being, thank you for being a good role model for me and many others.
Well, thank you for saying that. You know, everything has been totally organic. And getting back right to these practices of Tai Chi and Qigong, that's what happens. It just develops from you. It changes your perspective in your life. I was retired, haha.
Yeah.
But getting involved makes you want to really use your retirement to benefit yourself more, to benefit others more, to fulfill yourself in ways you didn't even know that you wanted to or could.
Yeah.
That to me is the beauty of these arts. That's exactly what it did for me. And it did it subtly. And that's really what I want to tell people. There's a couple of really major categories that I refer to when I talk to people about what Qigong can do. And they're broad, like it will open your perspective and your awareness about yourself and your body is one of them. You have more confidence in your physical movements, in your mental abilities, and in your emotional responses. And that's just one area. And I'll talk about that more in a minute. The second area is that you grow to a whole new state of being. It's remarkable. It's incredible. You don't know how it happens, but you find yourself there, and and it's huge. And that's what I love about it. That's what I really want to share, and I hope people understand. The Qigong exercises themselves, if your audience doesn't really know them, they're very simple and they're easy to do. And even though they're simple and easy to do, people starting with exercise who haven't exercised or who have done exercise, which is usually more strenuous and bodybuilding
Right.
and
Forced.
to be done forced, has to be done perfectly. This is a whole new thing. That's why it's so excellent for people who are a little bit older. Movements are simple and easy. But
Let
even
me before you go on. I always find that I want to do this. I want to speak directly to the people who are listening.
yeah,
The topic of this particular discussion is qigong and aging well. So people who are listening have that on their mind. And I want to invite you to already go back and replay what you just heard from Hascia, because I'm here to say I am 100% in agreement. I myself have had those benefits that you open your perspective and your awareness about yourself and your body. You said that you feel more confident in your physical and you're more in charge of your emotional. And then you said you grow to a new state of being. And I want to say, one of the things we had talked about was this idea of, how you can start Qigong, kind of in your 70s, coming into your 70s, coming into your 80s. And you're a perfect example of that. And I just want to say, I really hope people are listening to what you're sharing, because honestly, this
yeah.
is gold.
Yes, it's a flow. And it's a flow that just kind of happens to you. You find after you do, first of all, you're doing the exercises, you feel a little clumsy, you don't really know what you're doing. You're a little bit nervous, but if you have a good teacher, the teacher says to you, fear not, worry not. Qigong is the most forgiving kind of thing that you can do. You're moving energies around you. If I tell you to take an in breath and then exhale with the next move, and you exhale instead of inhale, so what? You're benefiting yourself, but the benefit is just a little bit different. But it doesn't matter, because in the end, every part of your body will benefit. You can't do it wrong. What better way to exercise? It's beautiful.
Right.
And
That's such an important point here, because the other day I was speaking with my own daughter, who's only 31. strong body, strong mind, strong spirit. And we were talking about how when you go to the gym, if you don't know what to do with the weights, you're nervous that you might be doing it wrong and you could hurt yourself.
Absolutely.
And so what you're sharing here, my gosh, it just happened again. Like, I want people to, tune in and listen. I love that you share the truth, which is when you first start anything new, you feel a little clumsy, a little sure, a little nervous. But we have a master teacher, one of the best in the world, Dr. Roger Yanka, who has a saying that says, it's better to do it wrong than not at all. And you just taught us that right here in real time when you said, so you either breathe in and you breathe out, or you breathe out and you breathe in, and either way you're benefiting. This is so good.
Yes, it's so beautiful. And then you find that, you're doing it. Maybe you've done these exercises once a week for a month now, and you don't really know, but you're noticing that you're walking better. You're not stumbling. Your balance is a little bit better. You're getting out of your chair more easily. You're getting out of bed more easily. You took your pain medication, but you were thinking, I really don't need it. Little things start happening, and you don't even realize how they've creeped up into you, because the result of your actions doesn't happen right after you do the actions. So you might not necessarily be aware of them. And they're so easy to do. You're getting a little better at the movements of it, but they're still easy to do. How can they have an effect? Oh, this is the beauty of what you're doing. They have a major effect. And so what happens now is your confidence gets a little bit stronger. And you may be saying, yes, I'll go for that walk with my friend who's asked me 4 million times, maybe, and I've kept saying no, but now maybe, I feel more confident and comfortable and I can do that. So little changes start creeping in, and that really feels good.
Wow. I just want to say, wow. This is exactly right. You're like literally teaching us here. It is exactly right. When you start this, okay, you're clumsy, you're unsure, you have to learn. Your teacher says you're doing it right. There will be benefit. And then you ask yourself, is there really benefit to this? And then you're helping us to understand the truth, which is like before very long, you are going to have these realizations that you just said. You can get out of a chair more easily, get out of bed more easily. The confidence of which you just spoke, for someone who was saying no to a walk with a friend, I guess you would be indicating because they weren't sure about their balance or something like that. And now with this Qigong, they could say yes to a friend, socialization, love, heart to heart engagement, walking, exercise outside in nature. My gosh, I'm here to say it really doesn't take very long before you experience this. Wow.
Yeah. So then the next thing that happens is you find yourself in the grocery store, and you're buying your items, and suddenly you say, oh wait, I remember I didn't put coffee filters on that list, but I need them. And you might remember a name of somebody or something.
Your memory.
And what happens is your memory increases. Why? Because everything's opening up in you, and even the blood vessels in your brain is opening up, and your memory increases too. And what an incredible booster that is. And the kind of thing, again, that you might not necessarily attribute to the Qigong, but then you think, well, what else am I doing differently? And, memory loss is such a big fear for people as they get older.
Yeah, I mean, I'm writing this progression that we're talking about. It's almost like a formula that you're giving us. If
Yes.
you do it, the first thing is you'll open your perspective, your awareness to yourself, your body. You'll begin to feel more confident. And then from there, you go to a new state of being. These are simple things to do. They're easy to learn. You move from feeling clumsy to feeling graceful. And then you begin to notice you're walking better, getting out of the chair more easily. And then number three, then we begin to move to you notice memory increases, that you notice, oh, I remember that person's name. And
Wow.
wow. And then because you said everything in you opens, and
Yes.
even the blood flow is going better because you're doing body movement, right?
Yes.
Oh wow, this is incredible.
So you're feeling a lot more confident in yourself, but then the big thing happens. Your friends, maybe your family, they've taken the flu shot, but they start coming down with a cold or not feeling well. And it runs through the house or it runs through the community. And you don't get ill. You stay healthy. Your immune system has protected you. How did that happen?
Oh my god, this is so good.
It's such a progression of how you realize, and you've done nothing differently. You've just been doing these simple flowing movements, and now you fall in love because everybody's saying to you, what's happened to you? You look so vibrant. you're laughing a lot. You're feeling great. You're doing things you didn't do before. You're walking, you're playing cards. What's happened to you? And you know what's happened to you because the only thing that's changed is that you're doing Qigong. And now you're doing Qigong in your house because you're remembering a little more of these exercises and you're not caring if you're doing them right or not.
Exactly, because right is not the construct that serves. Oh my gosh, this is so good. And I want to tell you, Haisha, I believe, I mean, I am the living, breathing example of what you're speaking out, because people would tell me you look so good. Now, I have a personal trauma that I suffered and experienced. And once you do, you're in grief. I have losses that I've suffered. And arguably, it could be said I should be in a ball in my bed, or otherwise haggard, or barely managing, crying a lot, whatever. But I've been practicing Qigong
Mhm.
intently, and intentionally for almost 5 years now, 5 years, I think. And this happens to me. People tell me you look good. And I'm like, well, I didn't even do my hair today. So and then the immune system also, I have had that. This is so good. Oh my gosh. And then if we turn to the aging well portion, like how this supports people who are older. Let's get to that, because I'm 63. I'm older than a lot of people, but I'm not in my 80s yet, or even my 70s yet. And I've said all of these things have helped me. But let's talk about how important. And also, by the way, I wanted to let you finish your progression because I got to number 4, and I don't know if you had anything more, but I also want
Yeah.
to talk about aging. Go ahead.
You want me to go on to the
Yeah,
next
yeah,
level of
yeah.
benefits?
Go on to the next level of benefit. I want to make sure we get this. This is such good stuff.
Okay, so this is where really the state of being changes. As you do these exercises, you begin to feel the simplicity and the purity of the movements. And somehow you begin to feel a connection to something that you can't name, but it's tangible. You feel it. You might have never felt like this before. It's a gentleness and a pleasing when you do this. And for me, I've called that a connection to the sacred because it opens you. I don't really like to use the word spiritually because that has a lot of different meanings to people and is overused. But you might say that it expands your consciousness and your awareness to something that's greater. And actually, it's to the energy field that's all around us. And you begin to feel that connection. And you mentioned going out in nature. Well, that's what happens when you go out in nature. You're seeing things more clearly. You're feeling connection with the trees and the birds and the squirrels, and they're giving you pleasure in a way that's very different. So the great gifts are a feeling of increasing joy and increasing internal peace. And a big way that this helps, and I think especially people to your point who are in their 60s and 70s, we get so set in our ways of thinking the world should be, thinking people should behave, that when it's not that way, we get agitated, we get upset, we get judgmental, we think something's wrong with them,
Yeah, yeah,
not us. But it's a distressing, and it's a contraction, of your whole self. But you find that now suddenly it doesn't really matter as much. You become much more accepting of what's going on around you, and you can give people time to calm down or straighten themselves out, or say to yourself, does this really matter? Do I really want to break up the peace that I'm feeling, or not feel this joy or this calm? Do I really want to? Does it really matter? And your whole perspective of that changes. That's an awesome thing to happen because it decreases your stress level so much, and the cortisol that's running through your body, and keeps you in that place of being energetic and being happy and being accepting. That's an amazing gift from these little exercises. But I promise you, this is what happens. And I want to tell you also that I work in assisted livings where people have done no exercise at all in their lives. So this is a big change for them. And they can do these simple things. And what I have seen so much, not only better coordination with what's going on, but with a happier attitude and a more accepting attitude of some of the things that happen around them and their fears, their ability to cope with family members, their ability to be sometimes in a place that they really don't want to be, but they've learned. And they've learned because they've opened themselves.
Yeah,
The
because of how it
Qigong
feels.
exercise, yeah,
Yeah, because of how it feels. It's
yeah,
better.
it's amazing. It's amazing.
I
And
mean,
then there's more.
I know. I just want to stop for a moment. I hear myself interrupting you, but I just am
It's okay.
stopping to, pause in
Yeah.
what you're sharing. I also have experience with some aging people getting cranky and difficult. But what you said was, as you get older, we get set in our ways, thinking the world should be a certain way based on, our experience. And then when it's not, it feels distressing. And basically you have contraction in yourself and you come up as cranky, irritable, easily distressed, and
Pain develops.
the pain, right? And then you said Qigong, these simple, easy, flowing movements combined with mind focus, breath awareness, actually brings you into a more aligned state of being. And then you feel the feeling of being happier. I feel like people are like, oh, that can't really be true. But boy, you're really showing us the progression. So now continue. There's more, you said.
There's more. That's right. More gifts from this. So this is kind of interesting, and I really hope that everybody who listens and starts to do this focuses and sees this, because it can easily be missed. But this connection that you have developed with the field around you, the energy that you're bringing in, and the energy also that, or the stress and the disruption and the things that bother you come out also as you're exhaling. That's a different part. Develops three other qualities that are really important for living your life. And one is intuition. This is great at any age. However, as you get older and you don't always pay attention to exactly the things that you had paid attention to before, but your intuition kicks in. And here's an example. You're in the grocery store and you walk past the eggs and you say to yourself, something says to you, buy some eggs. And then your mind kicks in and you say, well, why would I want to buy eggs? I have 3 in the house now. I don't eat them that quickly. I'll just be in the grocery store again when I need them, so you don't buy them. Then you come home and you're invited to a potluck. And you think, well, I'm going to make that pound cake that I haven't made in a long time because I love it. And what, pound cake and ice cream, this is going to be the greatest. And you look at your recipe and your recipe calls for 4 eggs.
Yes.
And you only have 3.
Yes.
And you didn't listen to your intuition. And then how do you feel?
Wow. And I connect up intuition with trusting yourself. And that's what you're just,
that's the point. That's exactly what it is.
Right.
Trusting yourself.
Right.
And that grows. So the next time then you've seen this happen. The next time you come to an intersection in your car, because you're still driving, and you're a little bit late, not very late, but a little bit late, and you like to be on time. So you want to take the fastest route possible, and you always go straight. And at the end of that straight ride, there's a train crossing, and you go over the train crossing then. But you're at that intersection, and if you made that right-hand turn now, you'd go over the train crossing right away. But you don't really like that route as much. But something says, take it. Now you've learned to trust your intuition, and you make that turn and you go over the train tracks then. And within hearing distance, you hear that train coming, and you would have been stopped at the other intersection.
Right. Right.
And you would have lost. And with some of these freight trains here, 5 minutes you could have lost.
Same, 10. Could go 10 minutes here. Yeah.
Yeah. Practical example of how intuition can help you when you learn to trust it. And how do you develop intuition? There's only really one way, and that's getting connected to the energies, the unseen energies and fields that are around you. And how do you do that? There's very few things besides Tai Chi and Qigong that actually give you that connection to the field of energy. That's what Qi is. Qi is universal energy. It's called prana in other places. In English, we've called it life force energy. This is how you connect with it. It's really...
This is so good. And so you said there's a few other things. Number one is you develop intuition.
And you develop what's called imagination. Now, imagination has always meant to people visualizing different things, creativity, and the arts. But imagination also is a little bit different. It's finding solutions to things. That comes from imagination. And imagination is also nothing that can really be taught. It comes from opening up to possibilities, and that comes through this general field that Qigong connects you to.
My business tagline is literally imagine the possibilities. And you are 100% right. You literally just said, we are in such a stressed time. And you said you develop your intuition. You also develop imagination, and imagination can help you find solutions to things, either for yourself or a bigger picture. This is amazing.
Yeah. And as you said, for other things also, you can so easily help people, help situations, do so much. And it's like it just comes through you because you're open. And then there's one more incredible thing that happens that I love. And this is called coincidences or synchronicities. So suddenly you find that you've been thinking about somebody and they call you. Or you think about somebody and they meet you. You meet them somewhere. And sometimes it's somebody that you've wanted to say something to, but hadn't really had the opportunity or a chance to. Maybe you wanted to talk about something that was uncomfortable for you and you wanted to straighten it out. How are you going to do that? Sometimes it's just hard to pick up the phone. So what happens? The universe provides a way for you to do and be what your heart really needed and wanted. Sometimes these coincidences are simple and easy. You have a thought that you want something, and you turn around and there it is, or somebody gifts comes to your door and says, "Hey neighbor, I've got this. Do you want it? I don't really want to throw it away." Whatever. You meet different people also. People who are now becoming more like you, more vibrant, more energetic, and you're making new friends. Your life is completely changed, and your state of being, your normal state of existence, is now different than it was before. You might have been that person who is fine and happy just sitting on your couch and not going anywhere and watching television and whatever. And that's fine also. That's fine. But if you kind of had a bucket list, if there were things that you thought about that you wanted to do or accomplish in your life and haven't done that yet, and you think, here I am, really it's now or never.
Yeah.
But how do I have the energy and the volition to do that?
Yeah.
Just do these simple, graceful movements and have fun doing it. And there it is, a whole new way of being, a whole new mental set. You wake up, like you say, you're happier. You're more fulfilled with your existence. You're more in tune with the world and the people around you also. And it's so easy when you get older to cloister yourself, because sometimes your hearing gets bad.
Yeah.
And your eyesight gets bad. And you want to isolate yourself, and you feel that all the younger people around you do not really understand you.
Yep. I've
Yeah.
seen it many, many times. I mean, honestly, the thing that you and I both know for certain that if someone heard this master class that you have offered us, and when I say that, this is not blowing smoke. This has been a master class in the evolution of your being to support your soul from the very beginning, when you talked about feeling clumsy with the new thing that you're learning. And you and I both know for sure all of this could happen in 30 days, in 60 days, without a doubt. If you're in your 60s, if you're in your 70s and thinking about your elder years, and you, like you said, you even talked to us, you could start once a week in a class. If you like it, you begin to practice, and so on and so forth. And it becomes a part of your life. This was my progression. I was in my late 50s when I started. It
Mm-hmm.
becomes a part of a progression. And before, shockingly, in very short order, you would be, moving through this progression that you just taught us in this master class. And eventually, in a very short order, you could be the one where you are experiencing a developed intuition, where you could be the one, from this place of having been sitting on your couch, where you are developing imagination and finding solutions to things for yourself or others, and tuning into the synchronicities of your life in an open way, because the middle of the process that you spoke out to us is that you start to open. And you also spoke out how sometimes as we age unwell, we close. Before we
Yes.
came here, we were what I call in the green room having a little bit of discussion. And you said, people do not tune in to what's happening to seniors, our elders. They're often an unseen group. And you have taught us here today, as the teacher you have taught us here today a progression whereby people can start to see themselves. And this is why I do this podcast. This is why I invited you and Marilyn Lepresti. I spoke to her in another episode to show people who are vibrantly aging well, and from something that's been amazing in their lives. I am seriously, deeply touched by this conversation, and I want to say thank you so much. You obviously, when I, put it out there, and you must have thought about it, and you've never done. It's not like you're Miss Podcasting all over the land. You've never done something like this, but
This is my first.
you realized from this open place of your imagination, oh, if I say yes to Susan, you could find a solution for others because of the progression to the imagination state, which you just shared. So you courageously said yes, and then obviously thoughtfully spent time asking yourself, well, I'm going to have the opportunity to say something. What do I want to share? And here you are, forgive me for saying at this age, even though I realize age is just a number, especially for you, making a big impact here. This podcast is going to be a master class, and it is going to be shared widely, not because anybody's paying for advertising, but because organically people are going to watch this and ask themselves, is this true? Is this possible? They're going to share it with their 60-year-old mothers like me. They're going to share it with their 70-year-old sisters. They're going to share it with their 78-year-old fathers, men, women, everyone can benefit from this. So I really mean this, every word I'm saying. Thank you very much.
Well, you're quite welcome. It makes me really happy that it can be of benefit to people. It is just a little bit different way of looking at this. I thought, well, I could say, yes, it's better for your bones and better for this and better for that. But that means nothing, because it's really got to be not only spoken from the heart and experienced, but it's got to be something that people can really learn how to see the benefits in themselves as they happen.
I mean, the fact there is a fact, it's well researched, well studied, completely mainstreamed, that Qigong can help your bones. It can help the physical and physiological systems of your body. But I really love this thoughtful progression of really gaining control of your sense of self, which after all, like you said, some people can't get out of the chair. It's okay. You can do Qigong in a chair. If they can't hear, it's okay. You can see. If they can't see, it's okay. I can speak it out for you. This really is so good. Hascia, I want to say thank you so much. And I want to invite you to keep practicing, keep teaching, keep showing up. And if you have further thoughts and you want to do this again, I'm here. I'm here for you. I will do it again. So thank you so much. I'm wishing you the very best. There was just one thing I remembered that I did want to ask you.
Yes.
And that was, what is your favorite sort of go-to Qigong move that you do?
Yes, I love that you asked that. Oh, favorite move?
or anything.
Oh, you had asked about the baskets. I just want to say this about
Yeah,
the 4 baskets.
yeah.
So I thought about that because when we do a practice, I try to put in all of those baskets.
So let me just say the baskets, the 4 baskets of Qigong are meditation, movement, breath, and massage. Go
Mhm.
ahead.
So what I found for myself is I don't have a favorite. I use all 4 of those at different times
Mm,
and in different ways. But one of the things that I found with teaching in the assisted livings and the memory care is the basket that people take home, and especially one of my favorite students who's 100 years old. It's amazing how he has benefited. He was up dancing.
oh,
But the one that they all take home is massage,
mm,
especially the hand massage, because they can do that at any time and your hands are always there. So especially for the memory care people, it's a cue, a clue.
yes.
There it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
But my favorite, and all of them that are good. So my
I,
favorite move is a qigong, but it's a continuous flow qigong, and it was from Tibetan priests that developed compassion.
mm,
And it's very simple. I could show it to you if you want.
yeah,
Just
sure.
stand up. Let's see if I can. It's you bring your hands up and make a triangle and look through that triangle and realize that you're bringing in what we call the yang energy, but it's the color blue. It's the energy from the sky. And you bring that into your triangle. And then you move your triangle down towards the earth, and you look down towards the earth. And you're bringing in the divine feminine energy from the earth because you're getting these energies from the field, and that's the color yellow. So you imagine the color yellow, and you bring this up to your heart and think of something that you love or something that you're grateful for or something that makes you happy. And it can be anything, even chocolate or your pet or whatever. And imagine that as the color gold. And you put that into your triangle. And then extend your hands and share
Oh,
all that energy and your love or gratitude in your hands with everybody. And then bring your hands down, the backs of your fingers together, come up to your heart, and nourish yourself.
mm.
Down, up, the blue energy. Imagine blue if you feel comfortable with that. Pink, the earth energy. Up to your heart, and add your own personal signature of love and light, and move this out and share it with all of humanity, all the people you live with, whatever you want. Backs of the fingers together, and come back up to your heart to nourish yourself. And doing that several times, especially in the morning, standing outside barefoot, if you can, in the sun, is just miraculous. And you're helping raise the energy and vibration of everybody on the planet, including the planet, and helping yourself too. And then when you're finished, either put both your hands on your heart, or one hand on your heart and one hand down by your dantian, the energy space a little bit below your belly button. And just stand there for a moment and be. Look inside yourself. Maybe you feel something, maybe you don't. It doesn't matter. Just that calm will come over you, which is a connection, from my point of view, with the sacred.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
my favorite.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. That was so beautiful. And you know, I am a practitioner, so I could get into the energy immediately. I could
Yes,
feel it. But what you and I know is go ahead and practice it. And if you don't feel anything at first, practice it a little bit more and you will.
yes. And the thing about Qigong is that even if you don't feel it, it works.
It works.
Because it's
Exactly.
energy, and we are energy,
Right.
and the
Exactly.
energy just does it.
Oh my gosh, that was so beautiful. Spontaneous Qigong. It's what we do. When you have an opportunity to teach, we teach. Oh, Hacia, thank you so much. I'm delighted. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it. And I'm wishing you the very best. And I'll
Thank
look forward
you.
to seeing you again soon.
Thank you all. Thank you so much for the
Take
privilege.
care.
Bye-bye.